donate. And I remind you again that this is a power hour, which means whatever you're donating is actually being doubled thanks to Waterstone Bank. Waterstone Bank has supported Children's Wisconsin since 2006, and they are a third-time KLH Miracle Marathon sponsor. So this is the time for those of you who can become Miracle Club members at $25 a month. That becomes $50 a month. And if you can't go, if that's too steep for you, that's fine. $5, $10, whatever you can donate, it gets doubled from now until noon. So please make it count. 414-337-WKLH. Right now, we're going to talk about a program they have here at Children's called Project Ujima. And Project Ujima works to stop the cycle of violent crimes through crisis intervention and case management, social and emotional support, and so much more. And their mission, their one singular goal, is to stop the cycle of violent crimes that take a toll on so many of Milwaukee's children and families and neighborhoods. And joining us now is Keekee. Keekee Allen, thank you so much for coming here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And Reggie Riley's here as well, Community Health and Education Team Lead for Project Ujima. Reggie, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keekee, tell us about your son. He was 19 years old. Amareon?
Yes, Amareon Allen. He was one of the running backs here, one of the fastest running backs here in Milwaukee during his year, which was 2020. He graduated from Marshall High School. He graduated a couple months early. He got a scholarship to attend Ellsworth Community College for the football team there.
Okay.
He ended up getting hurt the first game, and he had to come back here to Children's because he had fractures in his knee. All the meniscus, everything was torn in his knee. So he came back here to have surgery, and the day that he got released, 6 months later after the surgery, the day he got released to come back to school, he got murdered. That night he got murdered. When the nurse came that morning to fix him for his brace for his knee, he got murdered that night around 8:53 p.m. And that's been the most devastating day since my life.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I just can't. There's just no way. I mean, it's...
His whole life ahead of him.
And the circumstances with which it happened, I mean, was he just at the wrong place at the wrong time?
Basically, yes. I don't want to go into too much detail, but yes. It was a double homicide, so him and another young man got murdered the same night.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. How did you find out about Project Ujima?
Thank God. A couple months later, it was during the summertime, some organization had an event at Sherman Park. And so me and my family decided to go there just to spread awareness in regards to gun violence and also to continue my son's legacy and then to put the word out about my son's situation. I came across this lady named Ronnie and Brooke. They had a tent set up with Project Ujima or whatever, and so I went over there and I asked them about their service. And so they was explaining everything to me, and I'm like, oh wow, I never heard of you guys. How can I be a part? And then Ronnie had asked me, well, do you have any kids? Because we do have a summer camp coming up. And I said, yes, I have a 12-year-old. Well, then he was 10.
Okay.
I said, yes, I do have a 10-year-old. And she said, okay, well, we'll take down your name or whatever. And they took down my name, and then they called me. And from that day, it's been a life-changing experience with them. They've been a helping hand.
And Reggie, what is your job with Project Ujima? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, my primary goal is to assist what we call crime victim advocates in providing services and resources to individuals and families, and being that bridge between the hurt and the healing. And so what we do, we have an array, as mentioned, of activities like our summer camp, our annual summer camp, which is one of our pillar events that we have for the kids who have experienced violent crimes and are either survivors of homicide. They come to the camp and just be kids.
Which is what they need to be, try to add some normalcy to the whole situation. Keekee, you brought up your other children. Obviously, this violence changes all of their lives. How do they continue on? How do they rebound? How has it affected them?
I'll say my youngest two, I just continue the memories with them. The memories, we constantly talk about my son. I let them know everything that went on, but not too much of the detail that went on or whatever, just so that they won't be, wondering in regards to how this happened or that happened, because sometimes you have to be blunt with kids this day and time. And just continue my son's legacy, and then always talking about him. They participate in everything that we do that have anything to do with the Amareon. So that is what my oldest son, I let him deal with it on his own. And that's just basically it.
And what has Project Ujima helped you with?
They have helped me with a lot. They're like another family to me. They're very supportive. They're very welcoming. It's a safe space for a lot of families that don't have that support outside of their regular family, because a lot of people don't understand what people go through that have been affected by gun violence or been affected by any violence. So they've been a wonderful resource.
And they provide, I would imagine, a safe space for you guys to meet and talk. Those of you who are unfortunately in that, situation, and allow you to heal just by talking it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
and express our feelings. It's no judgment. Everyone there, they somewhat understand the process of grief and the healing process. So it's like you're in a safe space, and you don't have to worry about what others say or what others might think about you. It's okay to cry. They don't judge you.
Right.
It's okay to talk about it. They don't judge you in regards to that.
And that is completely funded by donations, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can't do it without it.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, it's such a huge problem in our city, and has been for a while. And the way it affects families, the way it affects siblings, parents, other relatives, neighbors. And Project Ujima is here to try to bridge that gap, to try to educate, to try to help, to try to heal. And that's what Project Ujima is all about. And that's another branch of children's that reaches far into our community. The branches of children's, as we've learned, reach virtually anything that you can think of in our community. And this is another thing that Project Ujima, that is funded by you and me and anybody else who's donating to this event. So whatever you can do, remember your money is being doubled thanks to Waterstone Bank, and you have until the top of the hour, till noon for that. So 414-337 WKLH. Keekee, thank you very, very much for sharing your story. Reggie, thank you. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Thank you.
We continue broadcasting live from Children's